Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Today I'm looking at this release from Glenfiddich called the Rich Oak. Now, this particular whiskey I haven't seen in the New Zealand retail scene for a good part of 2-3 years, maybe even longer. And I opened a bottle a very long time ago. I don't even remember. It might have been up to 4 years ago even. A beautiful 40% ABV whiskey. Now, you normally wouldn't see me reviewing or talking up whiskeys which are at 40% ABV because I like my whiskeys at 43, 46 or beyond, predominantly cask strength whiskeys. But I do have a sweet spot, just a bit of a old love affair for Glenfiddich whiskies because, they were the early single malts that I tried. And this one in particular, I deeply fell in love with. So it's very hard to see on the bottle itself, but this actually is a 14-year-old single malt, which I don't know why, in a whiskey world where mainly the connoisseurs or the drinkers are so driven by age statements, for some reason Glenfiddich is not putting a bold 14 on the bottle like they do with the 12 and 15 and 18. So the whiskey is bottled at 40%, 14 years old. There's a sort of a twin cask influence on here. There's new American oak and new Spanish oak. So I'm assuming starts its life in starts its life in ex-bourbon cask, as bulk of the Scotch whiskey industry does, age a lot of single malt whiskey and then ex-bourbon cask to give it that honeyed vanilla sweetness. But then they've put it into new American oak and new Spanish oak casks, which gives it a bit of a edge. And being 14 years old, it's actually pretty long age, very nice. But for some reason, it's watered down to 40%. But despite that, I have deeply enjoyed this whiskey, and unfortunately tonight I will be drinking the very last of it, which is a bit sad, but it gives me great opportunity to finally review it as well. Well, let's find out what's it like on the nose first. Now, I've been to the Glenfiddich distillery during my trip of Scotland back in March 2018, coming up 3 years, which feels a bit weird. It seems only yesterday. And been to the Glenfiddich distillery, and that was a great moment for me. It was not the first distillery I visited during the visit, but I did a visit to Glenfiddich, and it was just a magical visit, because in my mind it will always be the home of single malts. Obviously we drink a lot of other stuff from Speyside in other regions of Scotland, but Glenfiddich for me will always be the home of single malts. And let's see what this one's like on the nose. Ooh, the honeyed sweetness straight away. Just the very slight hint of citrus, very light, nothing too powerful. It does for me, because I would like to think my palate is very far advanced now, having tried so many different whiskies and far too many cask strength whiskies. This one, even though being at 40%, the nose is actually very pleasant. There's nothing in there that would annoy you in terms of being a high ABV and the alcohol vapors are annoying you. And there's no intense spice or peat either. Obviously, it's an unpeated whiskey. And that marriage of honey, citrus, and oaky character, it's just too good. And I'm rather sad that, well, tonight I will be polishing off the bottle. And there's just, as I said just before, there's a bit of oak, but just the slightest hint of spice, very gentle. So good. It'd probably be one of the most perfect whiskies, if you could get your hands on it, to gift to a novice drinker or a seasoned drinker. There's enough in there to delight a seasoned single malt whiskey drinker, but also a novice drinker would find a lot of joy in there, because there's nothing too challenging in there, and it just gives you a lot of joy. So good. Getting just a tiny bit more of that citrus. Very nice. Well, let's see what's it like on the palate. Mm. There's oak on the palate straight away, with just a little bit of spice, nothing too alarming. Really juicy whiskey. There's underlying sweetness of tropical fruits, kind of like a pear, maybe a rock melon. Mm. Intertwining with the spice. Nice. Mm. Just a beautiful dram. And the key thing is, when it was available, it retailed for just under or around 100 Kiwi dollars, which is around £50, which made a good value for money whiskey, considering its age and the fact that it is a Glenfiddich whiskey. Mm. Beautiful. Now, because it's at 40%, I'm not going to bother cutting it with water. I reckon it's just perfect. Any more water, for my personal preference, will not bring any more beautiful smells or flavors out on the palate. But for you, if you have a bottle, give it a try. See what it does to your whiskey. Well, that's all I've got for this particular whiskey. If you are liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. If you see a bottle out in the wild collecting dust on a shelf, because I have a suspicion it might actually be discontinued now, grab it. You probably don't want to pay much over the 100 Kiwi dollars or thereabouts. But if it's out there, it's definitely worth a try. In particular, look in the whiskey bars. They might have some open bottles which have been there for a little while, and be definitely worth just trying it by a dram or two, just so you get to know what the Glenfiddich Rich Oak, was it Rich Oak? Yes, Rich Oak 14-year-olds like. Well, we'll see you another time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.